T minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Midheaven podcast. Yes, this is the essential Hermes Hades combo. Put us on your playlist. And this is just a sneak peek before we're super mega famous. And our podcast is a household name. So, you know.
Wouldn't that be nice?
Before the feature price goes up, you know, yesterday's price is not today's price. So
yeah, we're not like the gas pumps.
No. Apparently the gas prices are like a little bit higher than they were in I Am Legend. So there's
also,
that.
people are saying it's the beginning of the end because of that.
Or we must have reached there. It's a little bit, you know. Thank God for our amazing administration and office doing everything it can to fuck up this country. I mean, to guide this country to the right direction. Thank you.
I like how you like come in with like this smooth, like buttery voice.
Oh yes, I smoked some weed before I came here.
So he's trying to tell you is he's hungry. He wants some snacks, motherfucker.
Oh my God, this is like the best. I was like, I should ask her for some snacks, but I'm just gonna settle for this beer right now. I wanted some cheese so bad.
We'll get you some mini cheeses. Yes. Don't worry. We're here to be all of y'all's astrological saviors.
Oh yes.
Because we were kind of like sitting down talking about what we were going to be filming this week. Those of you guys who don't know, we film back to back, so we film every other week. And we were constantly having to look at a scheduling, you know, timeline with when we're putting the podcast out, but also just kind of keeping in mind like what's going on in the cosmos. So a lot of the times, by the time you're hearing a podcast, we have filmed it 2 weeks prior. So sometimes we'll make predictions and things like that. I feel like there's some really big astrology setting up. And
setting up is the right word. I like that.
Putting it all compacted into a 45-minute podcast was not really going to do it justice. So we have good news for you is that we're going to talk to you guys all about the major conjunctions happening right around the end of March into early April. Yes, we did the Pisces season and the Aries season, but we really want to talk about how the conjunction of Mars, Venus, and Saturn in Aquarius square the nodes is going to play out for each and every one of the 12 signs, kind of like what your karmic mission is and why it's important. The silver lining, I guess, news is that this is going to be broken down into 2 podcasts. So it will come out 2 different weeks. So if you're listening to today and you're like an Aries, basically through a Virgo, this is going to be your episode of us telling you what's going to go down, what to expect with the transits. Next week, you're going to hear Libra through Pisces. So those of you guys who are those zodiac signs, stay tuned.
Yeah.
But also you can listen to your sun, moon, and rising. So if you're somebody who's like, oh my God, I didn't hear my sun sign, listen to your rising sign. That's likely how it's actually going to play out.
Yep.
Or your moon sign, so maybe you get a little snippet of something to tie you over. Otherwise, you're just going to learn something.
Right. You can see how it plays out with people you know in your life that play that energy. The sun's how you're going to be aware of it. The moon's what you're going to feel. And then the rising will show per house where it plays out in your life.
Yeah. So I want you guys to just be mindful of that. We're really going to be talking of the time period, although it can be sitting up a little earlier.
Yeah.
But specifically, I'm looking at March 27th, 2022 until Mars comes out of the square with the nodes. So about April 8th. So March 27th through April 8th. It sounds kind of like, that's a really big time window. Okay, trust me, we're going to get into it. So maybe we should talk a little bit more just about why this is so prominent. At least in my opinion, because I have like a background in evolutionary astrology. So when a planet squares a node, like sirens go off for me. And I'm like, whoa, something's happening.
Right.
We're evolving.
I like how you bring evolution with Saturn. Because I've always seen that as Jupiterian, but that textbook is, it's like you're being forced to evolve, whether you want to or not.
Yeah.
Like, So karma is
Yeah.
Saturn and destiny is the node. So it's like that specifically with this square, I think, is the most significant square.
Well, and it's collective, right? Because it's happening from
is
about,
collective, too.
21 to 24 degrees of Aquarius. So this is going to be like a global
And Aquarius is a
leveling
collective
up.
sign too. Yeah.
global consciousness, global vibrations, global awareness.
So let's speak to 91, 92, and 93. How did we see this happen before? With riots and like...
The Rodney King riots, I think, were the one of the times that we saw Mars and Saturn come together in Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
It was also the Cuban Missile Crisis.
No way.
And it was also when Hitler came to power. Those are the three.
No
Yep.
way. So we basically
Yeah.
have Donald Trump, Hitler. No, I'm joking because the people
Yeah.
like compare him. But then like we have freaking JFK in Russia and now Biden in Russia.
Yeah.
That's so wild.
So we have to kind of break it down archetypally. So I think the real reason why I'm giving you guys that time period of like the 27th through about the 8th of
Biden,
April is because
JFK.
there's a series of transits. So those of you guys who are astro babies, transits are like how planets are moving in the sky and becoming activated. So I like to kind of say like, hey guys, like as above, so below. So at least from like a spiritual standpoint or like a, I guess like a mythological standpoint, shit's going on upstairs. So it's going to affect the mortals, right?
That is honestly the best analogy you can use. Like Libra and Pisces is upstairs, Aries and Virgo is downstairs. Like,
Yeah.
like she serves the higher plane, I serve the lower plane. Hermes and Hades, right? It's. I love that you say that too, because this is just so much preparation setting up and upstairs that, like you said last time, we're getting ready to go back to basics.
Yeah.
And just like come back down with it. So
Well, I mean, and shit's getting extremely eventful, right? We've got like Pluto in the late degrees of Capricorn.
Oh, God.
Saturn's wrapping up this year in Aquarius. Jupiter and Neptune were in the later degrees of Aries. You know, within the next couple of years, as we see Saturn, Neptune move into Aries, Pluto move into Aquarius, it's going to be the dawn of like a whole new paradigm, 2026 and 2027. But I guess more or less what I'm getting at is that we have to look at the transiting planets and how they're actually moving within this very short time period, because it's going to be collectively for the world, but also in our own individual lives, a moment to like really level up and like really show up for each other, for groups, to be a part of the collective, but also Aquarius is not just about like leading a protest. It's like our goals, right? Like I think of Aquarius as like the party that we throw on Friday night after we work all week, or once you reach the peak of something, it's like having that feeling of accomplishment and being like, yes, I did it. So,
you know what I saw yesterday? And you just brought it together for me. I saw the last episode of Hunter x Hunter, and Jing was talking about how he only became a hunter so that he can find like this secret treasure in excavation, and that led to him building a nonprofit, and he along the way like met so many cool people. And so it came to a point where they finally reached the success 10th house. But what really was the best part was shaking hands with everybody who succeeded with.
It's a celebration.
Aquarius,
Yeah.
Which is like dope.
Yeah. So, I mean, I guess like that's the positive side of it. The not so positive side is that we're actually already experiencing it now. Like Mars and Venus are still going back and forth in Aquarius as we film this at the beginning of March. But Venus is about to get enclosed between Mars and Saturn. So an enclosement, I think, is typically within 7 or 8 degrees where you're feeling it. So we're actually going to be feeling it really from mid-March all the way until the better part of the beginning of April. And then things are going to kind of ease up a little bit, right? Mars and Venus will move into Pisces. Venus is exalted in Pisces. It's going to conjunct Jupiter and Neptune. We're going to go, oh, that was what the struggle was for. So there's going to be some like collective healing and peace that's on the other side of this, which will be like April and May, but it's going to be like life changing. And like, I don't know, I'm not like a really like kind of like animated astrologer that's constantly doing like forecasting, like this is going to change everything. This is going to change your life. But like everybody's life is literally on the brink of changing, especially if you have fixed placements in your horoscope. So the people who are going to really see this evolution, I think the most is going to definitely be like Taurus, Leo, Scorpio and Aquarius.
Aqua.
Sun, Moon, and Rising. Risings might feel it the most. Or they
Shout
might
out to
see
the
most.
Taurus risings. Our time has finally come. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's about goddamn time. And I didn't really think about Mars and Venus and Aquarius till you just mentioned it, but like that square to the nodes with Saturn is probably like the most serious decision. Like, so I can see
Right.
certain partnerships
yeah.
or friends like, oh, okay, so you like this? Well, we're going our separate ways. Or it's like, we're going to be, like, whatever decisions made here will probably last a lifetime.
Well, and what's
probably
really,
get to
yeah,
know
no,
someone forever.
100%. There are
And
decisions that are
ever.
being made,
And
literally,
ever.
like things that are being set up from mid-March into April that maybe decisions that, I don't know, like can create quantum leaps.
Yeah.
Like where you're kind of getting ahead very quickly in the timeline, and it's had me wondering whether or not there's something going on
I
where
like
like just
that.
like
Quantum leaps, yeah.
there's some weird stuff changing.
In
like,
relationships too, square Uranus. So it's like you could have known someone for 12 years,
Right.
But then you know someone for like 3 days, and you're already closer to them than someone you've known for 12
Well,
years.
so here's the thing. So, like, whenever we see conjunctions, planets are being reborn. So, the story or the theme of those two planets, until there is another conjunction between Mars and Venus or Mars and Saturn or whatever, it's going to kind of lay the foundation until the next conjunction happens. But I guess the storyline goes back a little bit more than I anticipated. You're going to start seeing like the rumbles when Venus and Mars first start coming into a square with Uranus. I think we should start there, which ironically is right around the spring equinox. So as we see Venus in Aquarius, who needs a lot of freedom, innovation, it needs to be able to kind of socialize and interact, and it needs equality, and it's not going to fit certain relationship or gender norms. So Venus square Uranus, I think around the 19th is going to be this turning point where Venus is going to go, well, I don't like the way that this feels, or I need a change, or I need to cut my bangs, or in regards to resources or relationships, I think you're going to see a lot of like rumbles.
Oh yeah.
Venus
Oh
being
my God. There's
feminine,
gonna be a
too.
lot of rumbles.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that maybe, I'm glad you said that. I think these rumbles are going to be hidden because it's 12th house to the sun. So as they're
Yes.
happening, maybe they're private, right? They're not really shown.
Well, and it's also like, remember, because Pisces is like the collective unconscious. So while everybody's like really in Pisces dreamland most of March, there's stuff going on behind the scenes that is being set up that's going to be a rather shocking and unexpected. Because remember, like, you know, it was March of 2020 when the pandemic happened, right?
Yeah.
So similarly, when we had planets going through Aquarius or, you know,
That was
breaking on
ironically
Aquarius.
the beginning of the apocalypse.
Yeah, and that was just from the Capricorn stuff. Then when everything
Yeah.
went into Aquarius is when the lockdown started.
Right.
So am I saying that's going to happen? No, but I'm saying there's going to be really
More
intense,
reflection.
heavy collective energy
Processing,
of
too.
people processing and
Yeah.
wrapping things and winding things down, but also that there's something in the mix that we haven't seen yet. So you're going to see the friction in relationships and values on the 19th. But then when Mars comes into the square, that's more explosive and kind of combative.
And I guess where the quantum leaps really begin. I think the unique part of Aries is Aries, like any Aries, is not going to waste any time. Like everything that's meant to happen is going to happen the first 5 degrees, and then we'll just be like reeling from it. And you did say quantum leaps too. And what do you feel about everything that we do Aries, where everyone's already connected to Aquarius? When now this is in Pisces and that's in Taurus, it's literally like grounding the experience, right? So it's like happening even quicker.
But it's also letting the news catch up because
that too.
Mercury will be in Pisces. Not so easy place to have Mercury, especially when it's sandwiched between Jupiter and Neptune. So that
looks like a new cycle of propaganda or just like bullshit.
New propaganda, new manipulations of video or pictures or something that's being... But it's also just, we talked about this, right? About like Pisces season and even into Aries season, how spiritual it is and that you can spin out or you can align. So then...
But then also seeing through BS too.
Yeah, which we're going to see more of when when Mercury goes into Aries. So then when Mars comes out of the square, Venus and Mars start heading for Saturn. And the period of time that I'm really looking at, I think, is going to be about the 26th of March, when the moon conjuncts Pluto and trines the North Node in Taurus. And we're seeing the moon, Pluto sextile Jupiter and Neptune. This is a time coming into, I think, the new moon in Aries, where people can spin out and get a little freaked out. And I just want you guys just to remember that regardless of what you're seeing, it's important to keep bringing yourself back to your vision of where you see your life going. Now, the real meat of the challenging transits, I think, is going to be the 27th of March, when the moon shows up, and collectively we're going to see that. So going back to what I said, I see like big things get triggered more so from like lunar transits. So like when the moon activates something is when we see this kind of happen collectively. But also because the moon is going to cross Mars, so it's going to go, I'm taking action, I'm getting aggravated. It's going to square Uranus, which is going to have us really reconsider our value system. Then it's going to conjunct Mars later in the day. And then on the 28th, Venus, Saturn, Moon will all conjunct.
Damn.
Square the nodes.
21 degrees too.
Yeah.
And 22 is apparently like an assassination degree.
So there is some very big, I guess, in terms of like out there, you guys can listen to our like Aries season, Pisces season stuff, but likely there's some real serious shit going down.
In Aries season, oh yes.
Yeah, around the 28th. And so kind of getting back to how this affects everybody else, when planets square the nodes, it's saying, hey, you must do this, you must integrate this. So we look at the planet being the action that we take, and then we look at the sign being the, I guess, lens that we look at it through.
There could be attempts on Trump's life. If you're watching this, President Trump, you probably already know. But
I mean, it could be, but it could be any older officer
any
in
Leo
government,
risings too,
right?
Any Leo risings or Leos too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's definitely, and Venus being about health, and also Venus Saturn is very karmic.
And it squares the president too. So.
And yeah, it's gonna square the nodes. So like actually the 28th through
at 23 degrees.
The 1st of April is going to be Venus conjunct Saturn in Aquarius, which is the school of hard knocks when it comes to health, love, resources, money. Venus, Saturn, I guess in Vedic, Venus and Saturn love each other, right? That there's a reason why Libra is exalted in Saturn is exalted in Libra.
Yeah.
But it can feel a little tough love and having to make difficult decisions, especially when it comes to like socializing and gathering and coming together. Saturn's going to kind of put, in a way, it's going to kind of put a belt around the situation and kind of tie it tight. But when we see Venus kind of square the nodes, I think with Saturn, it's like having to make difficult decisions in love and money and resources and social limitation or limitation of art or sharing or emotions or just like having difficulty opening up. And as a result of whatever is happening around these transits, in your life, it can feel a little bit like getting your heart broken a little bit or being a little disappointed.
Being very disappointed. But it's like you have to be disappointed just so you could realize how inane you were making that expectation in the first place. And then it's going to be like you cry and then immediately after you laugh because it's like, oh my gosh, like something better now that you've let go literally shows its face. But what do you think about this? Because this is blowing my mind right now. I didn't really see this until now. Venus basically hit the Crip Walk on Pluto and then Moonwalk retrograded back in Capricorn. Waited for Mars to come through.
It was prior to this. The whole Venus retrograde, Mercury retrograde in Capricorn was in preparation for what's coming.
I like that. It's a huge setup. The people you're meeting, the triggers you had at Moonwalk, they caught up with Mars that it came in to fuck shit up. Then it's traveling with Mars degree to degree. They go through Pluto together. And so you mean to tell me as soon as Mars escorts Venus to Saturn, Venus just starts taking over? Like,
yeah, and then Venus takes off.
Too. Right.
The other thing is like Juno is sandwiched in this.
Exactly.
So a lot
right.
of people
Commitment.
who have planets between, like, let's say probably 20 and 26 degrees of Aquarius can be big turning points where it's like realizing like what you need in terms of partnerships and commitment and relationships. And it's a real turning point. Like, I have thought all along that the Venus and Mars in Aquarius, I mean, you could feel it as soon as that ingress happened recently. It was like somebody turned the lights on and then everybody started socializing, and now we're realizing that there's more love than just the romantic love. There's platonic love. There's love with friends. Like,
it's deeper than love.
Yeah, it's like agape, right? When you think about it. So then after after Venus and Saturn conjunct and square the nodes, then Mars shows up and he's like, I'm fucking shit up because of what probably went down with Venus.
Right.
And that's going to be then April 5th.
So do we want to see Venus as I like that, and then Mars comes through and does that?
Yeah. Or Venus is like opening up to something. But what's weird is Saturn's in the mix, right? If it was just Venus and Mars,
so
Venus would say, you know, plant this garden, cut this tree down, like, you know, build the house, like whatever, and Mars would do it. But Saturn showing up, reminding us of the commitment, the seriousness, the responsibility, the long-term implications with the squares to the node of, if you do this, there is going to be consequences. And if you want this, you must act now. But I kind of like the Mars.
It's a decision.
It is because it squares the nodes. Right. I mean, Mercury's been there, so you guys have already been talking about it, whatever it is. But in many ways, I think
that's an assassination for sure. 22 degrees Mars and Saturn. That's an assassin. That's an organized hit. That's a hit.
Yeah,
be careful
concerns me.
Protect Leo at all costs. And Leo eyes, it's not a game, y'all. Protect it. Pop Smoke died when Saturn was transiting right opposite his sun in Cancer.
Yeah.
It was evil. It was crazy shit. It was an organized hit, literally. And what you saw was people have a home invasion because it was in Cap, a planned hit, and he was sunning Cancer in home, in his bathroom. And then young Dolph, a Leo, right, was planned, shot by people, but he was outside Leo. The shit is fucking crazy, man.
I mean, it's going to be really wild because in the midst of all this, I mean, you know, it's semi-sextiling Jupiter and Neptune. It's literally coming into a sextile with the Sun and Mercury. That's so best believe whatever's happening, you know, and taking place at the beginning of April, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, you're going to hear about it.
Yeah.
You're going to hear about it. There's going to be some kind of news.
A lot is, especially if you follow rap, like there's a lot of rappers, there's certain rappers beefing with each other, and the way it feels like people are starting to pick sides. And what I realize is what I'm seeing in rap is happening in every industry, but people are starting to pick sides, and you can tell by Aries season, people are gonna be dying left and right. Like, it's gonna be war. It's gonna be outright like skirmishes, conflicts, and I guess like I like that you had a point to say if it was just Mars and Venus and Aquarius, it's the high school prom. But then Saturn's there, so the principal is there. So you have to be, you can't like sneak any drugs in between. Like, you have to actually like be. I
feel like the Venus Saturn is like, okay, are you sure? It's like putting a ring on it, right?
Absolutely.
But Mars Saturn is very like Mr. Miyagi, where it's like, okay, cool, you want to learn how to kick somebody's ass, you're going to do it with focus, and you're going to, right? It's the kill shot. It's not just rushing in and like taking somebody out. It's all of the
preparation,
focus and
organization, total focus. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So
and then Juno too, which is the commitment and like being able to. I really like this because both Juno and Saturn are aspects of rulership. So this is like a strengthened connection that's like, remember, conjunctions are a whole new cycle. So the last time Mars and Saturn were together was 0 degrees Aquarius, where Saturn gave you the talents and it's like, show me what you're going to do with this. And now after 2 years, it's back. Like, what did you do? Aries season. And so
when did really Mars and Saturn cross?
2020.
When in 2020?
I want to say like March. Okay, so March 2021 or March 2020 was when they were all in Cap. So like coming into April, Like end of March
That's right.
and April.
I remember exactly what happened when those transits happened. I remember exactly what happened. Okay.
At like the very beginning, and then Saturn retrograded back into Capricorn.
So, you know, the Mars-Saturn is... It's not getting a break. You know, it's Aries season. Whatever's going on with Mars is very important. Mars is conjunct Saturn, so it's tightening, it's strengthening, it's toning, it's flexing, but it's also square the node. So you're going to have to take some kind of like real well thought out planned action around the 5th. And it's like showtime. Like we're getting to a point where I've told a lot of people like 2020 and 2021 were like the dress rehearsal for 2022. Like this is not a drill. So whatever is happening between the 28th of March and about really the 8th of April is like, oh shit, we're doing this.
It's like you spent all of like February and March planning, and by April you're doing it. Like now you're actually taking action on the mission. And this is cool because for those of you who on the fly have been winging it, this has been happening unconsciously through you.
Yeah.
So this is where you're starting to actualize it. And I've never been more excited about Aries season than I am now. Because this is just going to make sense.
I thought all along. I mean, I don't know about you if you looked at the astrology of 2022, but I was like, shit ain't happening until like April, May. Like, New Year's not even starting. And as much as I tried to get stuff done, and I tried to fight it, I was like, I know I can do this, and this. And like, the universe is like, nah, bitch, you're going to wait until like the end of March. I mean, I've been frustrated, but I also know to not push the river.
Because I'm like trying to plan this and that and that.
Yeah, and you just can't.
It's like, no.
You just can't.
Nope. It's like, wait till April.
Well, you're waiting for the puzzle pieces, right? You have to wait for the puzzle pieces. Now, here's what else is interesting.
That's what it feels like, too. Like, missing puzzle pieces that it's like the last piece, too, that you need. And then...
all of these squares, right, when the planets are getting up to 26, 27 degrees of Aquarius. So we're not, technically you're out of the conjunctions to Saturn and the squares to the nodes, really round about the 7th or the 8th. Granted, lunar transits are going to happen, which can bang things up when we have, you know, the moon in Leo or Taurus or Scorpio. You're going to feel the push. But these are all squaring the very same degrees as the eclipse we had on the 19th of November, which was the very first of the series of the Scorpio-Taurus eclipses. So if you think about it like that, this is the opening square to that. And it's square the nodes, and it's conjunct Saturn. So it's saying we have to learn how to walk before we can run.
That's so true.
Right? So there's something going on where... Go and look at where Aquarius is in your chart. That's where you really want to focus. Know that it's going to be difficult, but it's going to be worth working for because it's about you taking steps towards working towards your future desires, your goals.
And it's a huge breakthrough towards relationships that have been seemingly delayed because with people who you're connecting with, and I like that you brought in like agape and platonic and romantic, but like business too, like this is going to be like now, it's going to bring up every single relevant relationship you're meant to move forward with it while you have every integration and connection with these different people and how it all connects together. It's going to be so dynamic. I was saying before how the Aquarius chapter of this, like Aquarius season was us downloading the new, if Capricorn season was we got a new computer, well, Saturn is a system. So Aquarius season, we downloaded a new operating system called Windows Fuck It. After, you know, all the crazy shit that's happened, Square Uranus, and then Pisces is the software in the operating system. So, you know, we're by Aries we're moving forward, but we're still messing with the software and the system. So with Mars and Venus and
And like I said, guys, I mean, it's all in positive aspect to the sun. It's in positive aspect also to Mercury prior to it going into Taurus. There's a lot of support here. So you're working with a lot of air and fire. So there's going to be a lot of like coming together and information and then being like, okay, here we go. This is what we're doing. Like everybody, you know, get into formation. All right. So let's talk about how it's going to affect.
What do you think about the sextile to Saturn? And I mean, I don't always acknowledge Athena, but I think Athena is going to make herself be known here.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, and Vesta's kind of in the mix. It's
Vesta
close.
Too,
but, you know, Pallas Athena, I think coming into conjunction with the sun, sextile Saturn, it's hard for me to imagine that there isn't going to be some kind of military mobilization. And I feel like it's going to be strategic. And
a lot of Aries with Aquarius, because Aries is the identity, right? So sextile to Aquarius is now how your identity is strengthened as a part of a group. So like I'm Michael versus I'm Michael, a part of the Midheaven podcast.
Because he knows I'll beat your fucking ass.
Yo, I'm part of the gang, son. I was fucking Hades.
Blood in, blood out over here.
Yo, so yeah, I feel like a lot of people will start to pick sides nationally.
Well, and you're going to see lots of keyboard warriors and conflicts and stuff over what's going on economically or politically. And you're going to see an uprising, and there's going to be... I'll go as far as saying there's going to be riots. Like I said, like the last time we saw these conjunctions, it was during like Rodney King and...
And not only that, the last time Mars was in Aquarius coming into Pisces, we literally had the autonomous riots in Washington. Like we had a whole subsection of a town that got taken over by people who were rioting and protesting. They didn't even know what they were doing. That was hilarious. So, I mean, like now Saturn stabilized stuff, but I totally co-sign that not only will there be riots, but anything that was hidden and not publicized now is probably going to come out more.
Well, and it's all, like I said, it's the opening square from that eclipse that we had. Yeah. So the next chapter is going to be like the eclipses that we're going to start having in Taurus, and as we go through Taurus season, and then finally when we get to the end of July, when the North Node and Uranus conjunct, it's like if you look at your life, you know, basically from fall of 2020, and then you're going to look at your life roundabout spring of 2023, it's going to be night and day. There's going to be huge shifts that are going to happen.
Yeah, huge shift. That's a fact. Because you have to remember, this is a completion, and that's what I like. This is just so symbolic. Like when we started the Saturn Mars, we had all the Capricorn energy. Now it's back again. It's in Pisces. This is literally the conclusion.
Yeah.
It's ending that cycle, and then we're gonna have to deal with climate control and aliens. So
I keep saying like aliens are gonna. They're gonna probably be what jumps in and saves us, right?
That'll be the greatest plot twist of all time.
You're hearing stuff that's going on, like that there's being sightings over Russia and shit because of what's been happening.
I didn't know that.
Over like some of the nuclear plants, and that so many people are claiming they're seeing things, and they're saying like basically like the aliens are on standby waiting to like jump in and prevent us from blowing ourselves up.
I can totally believe that.
I mean, I'm wholeheartedly anticipating.
In the sense of aliens that have vested interest in this earth, like real estate agents, and they just don't want to see gang members just like destroy the property.
They also know that we're just in like this peak moment right now where like everything has just been so chaotic that if they were to release and let the world know that there's aliens,
yep, that's a fact.
Like people would be rioting in the streets. It'd be the fall of organized religion. It would be a fucking shit show.
Okay, so everything that Candace just said right now is Neptune conjunct Jupiter in Pisces. Like, this is bad. And then Saturn in the 12th is the hidden government knowledge of like, well, we want to tell them, but no one will show up to work tomorrow. We need to have an economy.
So they're probably about to tell everybody that, you know, the U.S. is basically bankrupt.
That too. And
you know?
I think what's forcing them to say it is people like Anonymous, whistleblowers who are like, if you don't tell the people this, we're going to show our proof. So they might have their hand forced.
Well, and just like the Venus-Saturn stuff is going to be people out protesting over stuff in regards to probably women's rights or something going on in politics or something going on where a lot of people are angry because of health issues or things that have gone on with their health. I'm not going to say anything other than that. But
no, I love that you say that too, because with all this collective Aquarian energy, it could be also the birth of a new social movement.
Oh, for sure.
That may be completely bullshit too.
But I mean, the thing is that they're going to try to shut it down. And what we're going to realize is with all the stuff in Aquarius is that being connected is great. We're on the internet. You guys can watch us talk about the cosmos and drink on this podcast. But it's almost like to a point where technology is overtaking and it's limiting the human connection to the point where we have no privacy. If people are trying to organize and talk about what they're doing, they're going to shut it down, which is going to reinforce the North Node Uranus conjunctions from May to July. Basically. People are going to be in the fucking streets. They're not going to be talking shit, eating Cheetos and Hot Pockets on a keyboard. They're going to actually be going out and learning
on the street with their portable keyboards talking shit for real. Like, it's going to be whole next level shit.
At least Jupiter will be in Aries. I think you're just going to see a lot more people being like, I'm going to jump in on this and make sure and ensure that, you know, I'm standing up for something. Like, there's been so much bullshit that's divided us the last couple of years that we don't really have people looking out for other people. I mean, I believe that human beings are inherently good. They try, but we don't see like a lot of people going out and helping others. We see a lot of conflict. We see a lot of division. We're seeing a lot of angry people with all this energy in the skies. Like, Mars is very loud, and Mars and Saturn notoriously clash, right? Because Saturn's going to basically be like, nah, and then Mars is just going to be trying to kind of duke it out.
But I feel like in Aquarius, it's detached and neutral. So you're speaking on and then Venus is like behave, right? But like, I think this could be a surprise act of diplomacy that is quickly like ruffled with Uranus.
Right.
And I mean, like, the craziest part about this, I would say, is with that level of action we're stepping. I forgot what I was about to say. I'm not even gonna lie. I was trying to say some extra words.
I just like in my mind I'm seeing all the conjunctions with Venus and Mars and Saturn and Juno, and I'm just thinking of it being like the Thunderdome of like where partnered people or husband and wives or husband and wives, whatever, like marital couples like really having to like find out like what relationships are really made of, and it being like a make or break situation.
Right,
because,
with the square to the notes too, my bad, because
like you don't really know, like until shit hits the fan and there is an alien invasion or like fucking something blows up in Europe or potentially there is some kind of like government meltdown, like maybe you're gonna find out like who your significant other really is.
It's gonna bring to a head what you're saying is so important, because it's bringing to a head collectively everything for the past decade that has split families and friendships apart. Right. And now you can't sweep it under the rug. Like this is it. It's bringing everything together where with the synthesis of everything that's happened, we have results and we have the final head of this. I love that you said that too, because I feel like as a collective, we're at 2022, we're now like 10 years into the game of all these social media profiles. And so the collective has a realer understanding of how to now bridge the online with the real and innovate the grounding of online Saturnacle with the internet of the real, the Uranus and Taurus.
I'm just really hoping that it, I'm hoping that these sextiles between Aquarius and Aries materializes as people being like, you know, you may not be my blood, but like I'm still gonna stick up for you. Like we may not be the same gender.
I really feel like we're gonna see that.
It's about literally like, you know, the fellowship of man.
In fact,
right?
it involved a Pisces. Like there was those events. I know like with the vaccination, anti-vaccination, that's been drawing a lot of unity in crowds. And I'm only referencing that because I feel like it's going to expand out of vaccinations and into more everything. And just kind of move, because I feel like for the first time too, since 2 years, we're officially moving on from the vaccination narrative. And we're going to start to see around this period a whole new narrative kind of come through and just change the game.
And hopefully,
and it's happening with Ukraine right now. So yeah.
Hopefully, like regardless of whatever conflicts or drama there has been, it's almost kind of being like, look, we all got played.
Yes.
So we might as well all stand together and do this together in the streets, right? Or
there's going to be a lot of people who were like complying that are going to be tempted to download Windows Fuck It. A lot of people who gave a fuck that don't want to give a fuck. I think the most important, that's the ultimate end game. Like everyone has always acknowledged this, but people have disagreed about how to acknowledge it. And I think it's just going to be that reminder that everyone got played. Everyone got played.
Yeah, everybody got played. We're going to find that out. And it's, you know, we talk about it jokingly, but like, it's going to be a fucking scary thing to see the Saturn-Mars conjunction
And this
from
is
the
something
square to Uranus and the nodes. Like, there's going to be angry people out in the streets, and I kind of feel inclined to tell people.
There already are.
Like,
There have been for 2 years, but for her to say that it's in much bigger droves with Jupiter expanding it, and by the time it's in Aries too, like people taking action. I just have
concerns. I feel like there's going to be people out in the streets angry and violent, and like, you know, when you're seeing that going on, really think about it. I'm not saying like. There's so many different ways to support a cause. For some people, it's protesting. For other people, it's getting involved in the legal system, running for office, raising money, like helping people in need. Like, there's so many ways to assist that I kind of feel like that's the beauty of the Aquarius energy, which is like everybody's going to have a place in the revolution. It doesn't mean that you have to be signing up and fighting in the streets or even in the military, but I'm anticipating that if it's as crazy as I think it's going to be, just be careful when you're out there, right? You don't want to be running around and joining the crazy crowds, because Saturn being there is going to rein it in. Like, there can be things set up that strokes the fires to incite people to go out and do this, so they can lock it down with that Saturn energy and go, now we're having martial law, or now we're passing new law and legislation.
And everything's going to happen so quickly, by the way.
Yeah, just be careful if you guys are out there. And, you know, obviously, you guys are going to get the rising signs in the next podcast, because we spent the whole podcast.
Yeah, we spent the whole, we had to go in.
We had to go in. We thought we could do this in an hour for all of it. And
but it was too complex. Pisces going into, Mars going into Pisces, I think we're going to see, and you just brought everything, you gave me a piece of the puzzle, because...
Well, wait until Jupiter and Mars goes into Aries, I think in June
Aries,
or July.
Right. Yeah.
At that point, I mean,
think we're going to see crazier riots coming into the next few months than we see in 2020.
Oh,
and it's just going to happen with the square to Uranus.
Sure.
Oh my God. It's about to happen.
Sure.
We are literally on the verge of it about to happen, because it's about to square. This is crazy.
Yes, that's what I was trying to tell you.
And I feel like everyone agreed at the beginning that we're all fucked, but people disagreed about how we were. And I think it's going to just let go of the disagreement, and people may start to, it's a turning point energy.
So when the Moon, Mars, and Jupiter all begin to align in Aries on the 24th and the 25th of May, so this is after the eclipses.
Yeah. Post eclipse.
You will see people that look at the North Node Mars, is 6-7 degrees away from
Venus,
Uranus.
Chiron.
People will begin moving and being more fierce and more independent and going after what they want, and you're gonna see just it's gonna be like literally the Jupiter Mars is like, just do it. It's like, fuck it, we're going live. Like, you may not know what you're jumping into, but you're doing it, and then it's leading up to. And that's end of summer.
The end of summer or beginning of
end of July, beginning of August, when Uranus North Node conjuncts. That's about a new vibration. There's a new vibration that's happening on Earth, or maybe they're trying to create a new energy, or the body's being affected by energy, or things relating to, like, I don't know. I just feel like there's something coming that is going to be massive changes for the Earth, frequency changes. And obviously ever increasing energy prices. I mean, the list goes on, but...
I see explosions. Mars and Jupiter in Aries is insane. And there's this really weird fog we're in right now. It's not going to be there by May. Like, post-eclipse, like, everything that's being set up, it's go time.
Yeah, it's going to be a new reality, too. Yeah. So to see Mars be reborn with Jupiter is... phenomenal. That's not a thing you see every 12 years. No. Because Mars takes 2 years to go through the signs and Jupiter takes 12. So, and
the last time they met together was in Capricorn.
Yes.
So it's like everything that 2020 planned, boom.
2020 happened, so you could
reset
and get to this moment in time, because you're completely changing directions. Everybody is, but. You know, it's like, it's when it's in Aquarius, it affects everybody. When it's in the late degrees of Aquarius, it's everyone. It's everyone's consciousness, everybody's goals. But when it squares the nodes, it is a part of the collective evolution in moving further into the destiny, and also just being a higher vibe.
Yeah.
Right?
And embodying it at
Yes.
this point.
Yeah. Well, Uranus North Node.
Yeah.
Taurus embodiment.
Oh my God, Uranus
So it's mirroring the
North
same
Node.
thing. Like whatever is setting up now, it's because there's something even bigger coming in August.
And in conclusion, I think the most important thing to understand, the struggle that we have to kind of express this fully is what Candace and I are talking about are new paradigms that we're not, like Candace and I right now are talking about Facebook while we have MySpace. So we have no idea to know that it's Facebook, but we just know something's coming that's gonna be the new social media. Like we're talking about that. Like we're literally on the verge of a new paradigm for the next 17, like 50 years.
Yeah.
So the most important thing that you want to do concerning this is join membership level 3, 2, and 1. Just come in now. We're like Bitcoin in 2012. You want to join now, and you want to be a part of the movement, okay?
Okay, I like the sales pitch. I'm all for it.
Yeah, let's go. I
like
name my
it.
Taurus rising now.
He's
so
got to
we
get
getting
those
there.
cheese sticks so it can cheap on.
Yes. Okay. Support my
Support.
snack habit and my beer habit. Okay, so I can be litty in this biatch every time.
Hopefully that's
Thank
helpful,
you in
guys.
advance.
I know we wanted to give you the signs. I apologize, but I think that it's probably good that we went in depth so you understand. We won't leave you on a cliffhanger. Go and look at where Aquarius is in your chart.
Yes.
Whatever the house is what area of your life it's going to take place. So in the next episode, we're going to talk about how it's going to affect each and every one of the 12 signs. Thank you for listening. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, commenting, for liking both of our channels, also individually following us. We love you guys so much. We will see all of you very soon. Take care.